Sean McVay, A. Sean McVay, born January 24, 1986, is an American football coach who is the head coach for the Los Angeles Rams of the National Football League (NFL). He became the youngest head coach in modern NFL history when he was hired by the Rams in 2017 at the age of 30. McVay is the youngest head coach to win a playoff game, win a Super Bowl, make multiple Super Bowl appearances, and be named the AP NFL Coach of the Year. Within his first year, McVay turned a Rams team that had the league's lowest scoring offense the previous year into the top scoring team of 2017 en route to a division title. The season also marked the Rams' first winning record since 2003 and first playoff appearance since 2004. Over the following seasons, McVay led the Rams to 2 Super Bowl appearances and won the franchise's first since 1999 in Super Bowl LVI. His success in Los Angeles is credited with changing NFL hiring philosophies towards younger head coaches. Early life. McVay was born in Dayton, Ohio, the son of Tim and Cindy McVay. Sean's father, Tim, played football as a defensive back at Indiana University. His family lived in Dayton until Sean was 6 years old. His grandfather, John McVay, was the head football coach at the University of Dayton from 1965 to 1972, head coach of the New York Giants later in the 1970s, and served as general manager of the San Francisco 49ers for the team's 5 Super Bowl championships during the 1980 and 1990. McVay graduated from Marist School in Brookhaven, Georgia in 2004. He was a 4-year starter at Marist as a quarterback and defensive back for the War Eagles high school football team and was the first player in school history to amass 1,000 yards rushing and passing in consecutive seasons. McVay totaled 2,600 yards rushing and 40 rushing touchdowns during his career and also passed for 2,500 yards and 18 touchdowns, leading the War Eagles to a 26-3 record, including a 14-1 record and state championship his senior year, when he was also named the Georgia 4 Offensive Player of the Year. College football playing career. McVay attended Miami University in Oxford, Ohio, where he played college football as a wide receiver from 2004 to 2007, earning Miami's Scholar Athlete Award in 2007. McVay recorded 39 receptions for 312 yards for the Red Hawks in his college career. He graduated from Miami in 2008 with a B.S. in Health and Sports Studies. Collegiate statistics, 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 sticks. Coaching career. Tampa Bay Buccaneers. McVay began his coaching career as an assistant wide receivers coach with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers in 2008 under head coach John Gruden. Florida Tuskers UFL. In 2009, McVay was the quality control/wide receivers coach for the Florida Tuskers of the United Football League UFL. With Florida, McVay first worked under Jay Gruden, who was the Tuskers' offensive coordinator. Washington Redskins. In 2010, McVay was hired as the assistant tight ends coach for the Washington Redskins under head coach Mike Shanahan. The following season, McVay was promoted to tight ends coach, a position he held through the 2013 season. On January 14, 2014, McVay was promoted to offensive coordinator by new Redskins head coach Jay Gruden. Los Angeles Rams. On January 12, 2017, McVay was hired to become the 28th head coach of the Los Angeles Rams at the age of 30 years, 354 days. The hiring made him the youngest head coach in the NFL modern era, surpassing Lane Kiffin, who was 31 years, 259 days old when hired by the Oakland Raiders in 2007, and the youngest since the Rams hired 27-year-old Art Lewis in 1938. On February 8, 2017, McVay hired Matt LaFleur as his offensive coordinator. LaFleur had previously worked with McVay in Washington when McVay was tight ends coach and LaFleur was quarterbacks coach. 2017 season. 2018 season. Offensive coordinator Matt LaFleur left his position with the Rams on January 30, 2018, to move up to play caller as offensive coordinator for the Tennessee Titans and was not replaced. The Rams started the season 8-0, their best start to a season since 1969, but they lost in New Orleans to the New Orleans Saints in Week 9 by a score of 45-35 to fall to 8-1. After defeating the Seattle Seahawks 36-31 in Week 10, the Rams beat the Kansas City Chiefs by a score of 54-51 in Week 11 on Monday Night Football in a highly anticipated matchup that was originally scheduled to be played in Mexico City, but was shifted to Los Angeles due to poor field conditions. Following a bye week, the Rams traveled to Detroit and defeated the Detroit Lions by a score of 30-16 to clinch their second straight NFC West title. McVay then endured his first losing streak as a head coach as the Rams stumbled in back-to-back losses to the Chicago Bears 15-6 and the Philadelphia Eagles 30-23, both on NBC Sunday Night Football. The Rams bounced back to defeat the Arizona Cardinals 31-9 and San Francisco 49ers 48-32 in the final 2 weeks to finish the regular season with a 13-3 record, tied for the second most wins in franchise history. In the divisional round, the Rams defeated the Dallas Cowboys by a score of 30-22. The following week, in the controversial NFC Championship game, the Rams beat the Saints on the road by a score of 26-23 in overtime on a game-winning field goal by Greg Zuerlein in overtime to send the Rams to Super Bowl LVI, their first NFL championship appearance since Super Bowl Roman 36 in 2002. It was also the Rams' first Super Bowl appearance while based in Los Angeles since the 1980s Super Bowl Roman 14. At age 33, McVay became the youngest head coach to lead his team to the Super Bowl. However, the success would be short-lived, as the Rams became yet another victim of Tom Brady and his New England Patriots, with the once lethal Rams failing to score a single touchdown in a crushing 13-3 loss, the lowest-scoring Super Bowl in history. 2019 season. The 2019 season was a disappointment, as the Rams were victims of the Super Bowl losers' curse and missed the playoffs with a 9-7 record. The Rams started the season 3-0, winning against the Carolina Panthers, New Orleans Saints, and Cleveland Browns. However, they then lost 3 straight to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, Seattle Seahawks, and San Francisco 49ers. Before a Week 9 bye, they won 2 games against the Atlanta Falcons and Cincinnati Bengals. The Rams then went on and won 4 and lost 4. The team faced problems during the season due to a combination of factors and lost on the road by a score of 34-31 in a heartbreaking fashion in a must-win Week 16 contest against the 49ers. 2020 season. After a win over the Dallas Cowboys in the season opener, the Rams started off the first half of the 2020 season going 5-3, with wins over the Philadelphia Eagles, New York Giants, Washington Football Team, and Chicago Bears. However, they lost to the Buffalo Bills, San Francisco 49ers, and Miami Dolphins. The Rams finished the season with a 10-6 record with wins over the Seattle Seahawks, Tampa Bay Buccaneers, Arizona Cardinals, and New England Patriots. Their remaining losses came against the New York Jets, 49ers, and Seahawks. After a 30-20 road victory over the Seahawks in the wild card round, McVay and the Rams visited the first-seeded Green Bay Packers at Lambeau Field, who were led by one of McVay's former offensive coordinators, Matt LaFleur. The matchup was the postseason contest with the youngest combined age between both head coaches in more than 50 years. The Rams lost on the road by a score of 32-18. 2021 season. There were high expectations for the Rams after trading for former Detroit Lions quarterback Matthew Stafford in the offseason. The Rams opened the season at home against the Chicago Bears and won 34-14. They then won their next two games against the Indianapolis Colts and the reigning Super Bowl champion Tampa Bay Buccaneers before losing to the Arizona Cardinals. The Rams then beat the Seattle Seahawks on Thursday Night Football 26-17, then defeated the New York Giants on the road by a score of 38-11 the following week. Wins at home against the Detroit Lions 28-19 and on the road against Houston Texans 38-22 pushed the Rams' record to 7-1. However, the Rams stumbled as they passed the midway point of the season, losing 28-16 to the visiting Tennessee Titans during Week 9 on Sunday Night Football, then getting routed 31-10 by the host San Francisco 49ers on Monday Night Football in Week 10. After a Week 11 bye, the Rams' losing streak continued when they lost to the Green Bay Packers on the road by a score of 36-28, falling to a 7-4 record. The Rams snapped their losing streak with a 37-7 blowout at home against the Jacksonville Jaguars, then followed that up with an impressive 30-23 road victory over the Cardinals, which vaulted the Rams back into the NFC West race. Despite a two-day delay due to COVID-19 precautions, the Rams beat the Seahawks 2010 at SoFi Stadium to improve to 10-4, then scored impressive road wins over Minnesota 30-23 and Baltimore 2019 to clinch an NFC playoff spot. However, the regular season ended with a 27-24 overtime loss to the 49ers, in which the Rams squandered a 17-0 lead. Despite the loss, the Rams first under McVay, after they had led at halftime a streak of 45 straight games, the Rams claimed the NFC West division title by virtue of Arizona's loss to Seattle that same day. In the first NFL playoff game played on Monday Night Football, the Rams defeated their NFC West rival, the Arizona Cardinals, by a score of 34-11. With the win, McVay's record over the Cardinals improved to 10-1 over 5 seasons. The following week, the Rams traveled to Tampa Bay and narrowly beat the Buccaneers 30-27. The win put the Rams into the NFC Championship game for the second time under McVay's leadership, giving him his fifth postseason victory, the most in team history. Returning to SoFi Stadium for the NFC Championship game, the Rams rallied from a 10-point deficit to defeat their other NFC West rival, the San Francisco 49ers, by a score of 20-17, with McVay winning his second conference title and advancing to Super Bowl LVI, where the Rams defeated the Cincinnati Bengals by a score of 23-20. The victory made McVay the youngest head coach in NFL history to win the Super Bowl at age 36. Head coaching record. Coaching tree. Sean McVay has worked under 4 head coaches: John Gruden, Tampa Bay Buccaneers 2008, Jim Haslett, Florida Tuskers 2009, Mike Shanahan, Washington Redskins 2010-2013, Jay Gruden, Washington Redskins 2014-2016. 5 of McVay's assistant coaches have become NFL or Inca head coaches. Matt LaFleur, Green Bay Packers 2019-present. Zach Taylor, Cincinnati Bengals 2019-present. Jed Fish, Arizona Wildcats 2021-present. Brandon Staley, Los Angeles Chargers 2021-present. Kevin O'Connell, Minnesota Vikings 2022-present. One executive/coach under McVay has become a general manager in the NFL. Brad Holmes, Detroit Lions 2021-present. The Sean McVay effect. Because of McVay's success as the Rams head coach at a young age, as well as his offensive prowess, NFL teams have started to look more towards younger offensive-minded coaches to be their head coaches, as opposed to coaches with defensive backgrounds or more experience. 2 of McVay's former offensive assistants, Matt LaFleur, 6 years older than McVay, and Zach Taylor, 3 years older than McVay, were hired as the head coaches of the Green Bay Packers and Cincinnati Bengals, respectively, in 2019, while others have also cited the fast rise of Cliff Kingsbury, 6 years older than McVay, from being ousted as head coach. McVay's defensive coordinator in 2020, Brandon Staley, 3 years older than McVay, was hired the following offseason by the Los Angeles Chargers. His offensive coordinator for 2021, Kevin O'Connell, 8 months older than McVay, was hired by the Minnesota Vikings in 2022. Mike McDaniel, 3 years older than McVay, who was on the same Washington Redskins coaching staff with McVay, LaFleur, and 14 years head coach Kyle Shanahan in 2013, was hired by the Miami Dolphins in 2022. This phenomenon would not be exclusive for head coaching positions. Additionally, several of McVay's lower-level assistants would regularly be hired for offensive, defensive, or special teams coordinators on other teams, including Shane Waldron, Joe Barry, Ejiro Evero, Wes Phillips, Wayne Stukes, and Matt Daniels. Personal life. McVay resides in Encino, California, with his fiancée, Veronica Kamen, a model from Ukraine whom he met when he was a coach for Washington. They were engaged on June 22, 2019, while vacationing in Cannes, France. Chris Shula, the Rams linebackers coach, has been his housemate. McVay's grandfather, John McVay, was also an NFL head coach, having coached the New York Giants from 1976 to 1978 before going on to serve as an executive for the San Francisco 49ers from 1980 to 1996. References and notes.